A psychologist and one of the authors of Child Decoded. And we hear a lot lately about executive function and executive function weaknesses. An executive function is the ability to sequence for problem solving, do steps in a linear fashion, social judgment, decision making, organization. Those are all part of the executive functions. They're called the executive function because it's like the brain's boss, the executive, or the brain's coach, telling the brain what to do. Kids with executive function weaknesses have trouble with sequencing and for problem solving and keeping track of the steps. And they're often very disorganized. And parents are always looking for executive function strategies or ways to support executive function. And while we're stuck with remote learning and distance learning, thought I'd get on and mention one of my favorites, and that is cooking from recipes. Cooking from recipes requires gathering the things that you will need and going through a sequence of steps to get to the finished product. And they can be a lot of fun to do. The nice thing about that executive function task is if you're making brownies or something, it can be quite stealth. Kids can be pretty excited about doing it. For example, I'm going to use the Women's Bean Project 10 bean soup mix because it's such a great organization. The Women's Bean Project works with chronically unemployed women to train them in self-sufficiency. So I thought, well, if I'm going to use any recipe, they'd be a great group to highlight here. But so if you look on the back, this is what happens with a lot of recipes. They show you what ingredients you'll need. This one only needs about 4 things. And then they have only 3 steps for doing it. So it's a great starter project. The 10 bean soup mix is also an interesting one because you actually have to start the day before because you have to soak the beans, and that's a real interesting concept for kids. So what you've been doing while you're staying at home is cooking from recipes. Only to the extent that it doesn't drive you crazy, but cooking from recipes with your kids is a great way to practice executive function skills. And when they have a larger project, you use the recipe model to help them organize their thinking. It's like, well, this is like cooking. First, we need a recipe. What are your ingredients that you'll need to do your project? And then what are your steps? So give that a try. Great talking with y'all today. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.